What if everything about Pompeii's destruction was completely wrong? Scientists just cracked the 2,000-year mystery of how Pompeii really died, and the truth is more shocking than anyone imagined. From slaves trapped in underground chambers to the real reason some people survived while thousands didn't. Cutting-edge technology is revealing secrets that challenge everything textbooks taught about this ancient catastrophe. By the end of this investigation, the story of Pompeii's final hours will look completely different. These discoveries prove the eruption was far more complex and terrifying than historians ever realized. So, why would wealthy Romans bury their most valuable possessions next to slave quarters? Archaeologists discovered a luxury villa outside Pompeii containing an incredible ceremonial chariot worth millions in today's money. But right next to this treasure room, they found something heartbreaking. 3 simple beds in a cramped servant's quarter with bare walls and dirt floors. Plaster casts revealed these were slave beds, with one smaller than the other, suggesting a child lived there. This represents the invisible third of Roman society, people who built the empire but were erased from history until now. But how did one volcano create 2 completely different death scenes? While Pompeii preserved thousands of twisted body casts, Herculaneum, much closer to Vesuvius, initially showed almost no victims. For decades, experts believe most people escaped. Then archaeologists dug towards the ancient beach. They discovered both chambers packed with 300 skeletons huddled together, 10 times more victims than in the entire town above. These people thought they were fleeing to safety, but they ran straight into a death trap. What could make human skulls literally explode? Forensic analysis of Herculaneum's victims revealed something unprecedented. Instead of the suffocation experts expected, the skulls contained reddish-brown mineral deposits where brains used to be. The temperatures were so extreme, over 500 degrees Celsius, that people's brains boiled instantly, causing skulls to explode from internal pressure. Death was instantaneous, but far more violent than anyone imagined. Why didn't anyone warn Pompeii about the pyroclastic flows hitting Herculaneum? Volcanic deposits revealed the eruption unfolded in stages over 18 hours. First, pumice rained on Pompeii, while pyroclastic flows devastated Herculaneum. The cities experienced the same eruption, but in completely different sequences. Communication between the cities was cut off immediately. Pompeii had no warning about the deadly flows approaching because everyone who could have warned them was already dead. It was a cascade of isolated disasters. What did Pompeii victims look like in their final moments? Scientists use high-resolution CT scans to examine body casts in unprecedented detail. They can now determine age, diet, occupation, and even geographical origin from teeth and bone structure locked inside the plaster. Digital facial reconstruction revealed a 25-year-old soldier's face, complete with North African features. For the first time in 2,000 years, people can look into the eyes of someone who experienced Vesuvius. The technology makes ancient victims human again. What lost masterpieces were literally turned to charcoal? Herculaneum's villa contained an entire library of papyrus scrolls carbonized by the eruption. For 250 years, these crumbled at the slightest touch, hiding their secrets. Now synchrotron technology fires X-rays at light speed to read the invisible ink. Scientists have isolated words from texts lost to millennia. These scrolls may contain unknown works by ancient philosophers, lost plays, or eyewitness accounts of the eruption itself. Entire genres of literature could be waiting inside charcoal fragments. How did ancient cities avoid traffic chaos without modern technology? Digital mapping of Pompeii's streets revealed wear patterns on stepping stones that nobody noticed for centuries. By analyzing 500 locations where cartwheels scraped stone, researchers traced traffic flow throughout the city. Pompeii had a sophisticated one-way street system just like modern Manhattan. Ancient Romans solved traffic problems 2,000 years before traffic lights existed. Their urban planning was more advanced than most modern cities. What if the famous gladiator barracks was never for gladiators at all? The Quadriporticus building has been marketed to tourists as gladiator housing for decades, but new 3D scanning technology revealed elegant decorations, fine wall paintings, and a sophisticated latrine system far too luxurious for fighters. This was actually a market building under renovation when Vesuvius erupted. The gladiators Barak's story was completely wrong, proving even expert assumptions about Pompeii need challenging with modern technology. What were Pompeii's richest citizens eating hours before they died? Archaeological analysis of latrine deposits from wealthy homes revealed the remains of final meals. Instead of regular food, these contained songbird bones, sea urchins, shellfish, and young pig remains, all expensive delicacies. The concentration of luxury food waste suggests elite Pompeians were hosting lavish banquets right up until the eruption began. They were literally feasting while the mountain prepared to destroy them, unaware their world was about to end. Why are scientists more worried about Vesuvius now than ever before? 3 million tourists visit Pompeii annually while the volcano remains active. Satellite monitoring detects underground movements measured in millimeters, and 600,000 people live in the danger zone, more than in Roman times. Scientists are racing to create complete 3D models of Pompeii before the next eruption destroys it forever. They're fighting a race against time because Vesuvius could erupt again at any moment, and modern Naples faces the same fate as ancient Pompeii. How do you save 2,000-year-old art from modern pollution? Pompeii's wall paintings have survived volcanic destruction but are now dying from acid rain, tourist breath, and industrial pollution. Traditional restoration methods using wax actually made the damage worse by sealing in moisture. Laser technology now removes centuries of grime grain by grain without damaging original pigments. Scientists can restore frescoes to their original Roman brilliance, revealing colors and details unseen for 2 millennia. How did Romans turn spoiled wine into a delicacy? Researchers recreated authentic Pompeian wine using ancient techniques, Roman grape varieties, and traditional fermentation methods. The process revealed Romans had completely different taste preferences than modern wine drinkers. Romans deliberately oxidized their wine and preferred what modern people would consider spoiled flavors. They drank wine between meals, not with food, and valued aged, oxidized tastes that today's sommelier would reject. Ancient partying was nothing like modern celebrations. What happens when archaeologists discover treasures they can't protect? The villa with the ceremonial chariot represents one of the most important discoveries in decades. But preserving organic materials like wood and leather after 2,000 years underground requires cutting-edge conservation techniques. Scientists have only years, not decades, to document these finds before they deteriorate. Every day of exposure causes irreversible damage to artifacts that survive 2 millennia buried. Time is running out to save Rome's greatest treasures. Could people have survived Vesuvius if they made different choices? Computer modeling of the eruption sequence shows exactly when and where escape was possible. People who left Pompeii immediately had the best survival chances, while those seeking shelter died. The natural human instinct to take cover indoors was a death sentence. Those who ignored their survival instincts and fled into the ash storm were the only ones who lived. Sometimes the logical choice is the wrong choice. How will scientists know when Vesuvius is about to erupt again? Modern monitoring systems track every earthquake, ground deformation, and gas emission from the volcano in real time. Networks of sensors send data to Naples Observatory, where scientists watch for eruption warning signs 24/7. The technology exists to predict eruptions weeks in advance, but evacuating 600,000 people requires perfect coordination. One false alarm could cause panic, but waiting too long means another Pompeii-scale disaster in the modern world. The real mystery isn't how Pompeii died, but how much of the ancient world still lives in modern society. These discoveries prove human nature hasn't changed in 2,000 years, only the technology has evolved.